Hello, my name's Hemingway Jones, and I make videos about fountain pens, inks, journals, and journaling for curious people. Welcome to the channel. So when I think of this hobby of ours, one of the things that I just love the most is the history and the legacy of many of the products that we use. Mont Blanc springs to mind, several other brands, but let's face it, no one can match the legacy, the breadth, the history of Jacques Herbin. So let's take a look. Jacques Herbin was established in Paris in 1670. That was 353 years ago. And to put that into further perspective, King Louis XIV, the Sun King, was 32 years old. The first settlers from England were arriving in South Carolina, and the Hudson Bay Company was just granted a charter to govern the area that would be known as Canada. Jacques Herbin was a sailor, and he traveled far and wide, but most notably to India, where he was exposed to an incredible palette of color and expressiveness, which he brought back to France and he used in their line of sealing waxes. Sealing waxes were very important up until about the 20th century. They were important as a means of security for keeping a document secure. If it had a seal from a person, a company, a municipality, you could tell whether or not the letter had been tampered with, if that seal were broken or somehow fiddled with. Also, it was used as a means of signing. Individuals had their own seals. They often carried them in little traveling cases. You can find these on eBay still. They also had signet rings and necklaces with signets that they could make an impression that would be known as their personal sign. So Jacques Herbin sealing waxes were well renowned for their adhesiveness to the paper, which is very important because if you're going to tamper with a seal, it has to stick to both sides to be secure. Also, the lacquer ingredient, if you'll forgive the pun, is very important in sealing waxes to make a good impression. And Jacques Herbin waxes did. You want to be able to differentiate all the different details in the seal with a clear impression to make sure it is authentic. Many of us are keeping the legacy of wax seals alive. So Jacques Herbin is also one of the oldest ink brands in the world. They had an iron gall ink that was designed for use aboard a ship. It used a mixture of tannins and iron to create a very durable ink that is still used today. Jacques Herbin's line of inks, Le Perle d'Encre, the one that we all know, has been around since around 1700 in those charming, beautiful bottles with the great descriptions and those incredible illustrations that we all know and love. Personally, the Éclat de Saphir and the Pearl Noir are two of my favorite colors from any ink brand, and I love knowing that they've been out there for such a long time. So I would put these Jacques Herbin inks in the category of my good guy inks. These are inks that have a neutral pH. They're non-corrosive, they will not damage your pens, and they're safe for use in any vintage pen because, let's face it, these inks were designed for them. In 1798, Jacques Herbin moved to Saint-Germain. The French Revolution was winding down, the Napoleonic Age was dawning. Napoleon was known to use Jacques Herbin inks as well. In 1829, the company came out with its own type of India ink, which is used in dip pens. It even created a special color for Victor Hugo in one of the earlier celebrity-endorsed products. Jacques Herbin has passed through the years at the cutting edge of ink production. Today they have all sorts of interesting lines, including scented inks, which is a lot of fun. The 1670 line. Some of these inks are my personal favorites, like Caroube de Chypre, the Emeraude de Chivor, that incredible emerald ink with the really cool sheen. Just so many amazing colors. So now that we know a little bit about the background, let's take a look at this care package that they sent over and see what they have in store for us. So it's always pretty wonderful when a brand reaches out and sends a care package. So let's see what we have today. The packaging from Jacques Herbin is very, very lovely. Very protective, which is always nice. And I guess the most obvious here is they sent this really nice Rhodia notebook, which is the white Maya pad. Very much looking forward to using this. You guys know I love this paper. I'm going to open it up with my Benchmade bailout, my handy pocket knife, which I use for just these occasions. So let's see what this looks like, shall we? Always fun to have new paper for the channel, because I go through a lot of paper demonstrating inks and pens, as you know. Ooh, very nice. My favorite. I love when it flips up. I find it's better for filming. So Rhodia Touch, very nice. Oh, okay. This is a beautiful palette. It's very smooth, what you'd expect from Rhodia. Feels very hefty, very nice. Let's see what the specs are, shall we? So it's 55-pound weight paper. The Maya paper, it actually feels pretty substantial. So very nice, 50 sheets, 14.8 by 21 centimeters. So very good size. It's gonna be perfect for filming. I'm sure you'll see this a lot on the channel, maybe even in a few moments. So take this away. Let's see what else we have. What could possibly be in here? This space age shipping material. Do you guys love unboxings as much as I do? It's sort of like a mini Christmas, isn't it? A mini birthday. And my birthday was a few days ago. So there you have it. I'm just making some surgical cuts. This Tanto blade is very sharp. So it's just sinking right through. Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's almost the main event, right? So now I have a new blue to consider. The Bleu de Profondeurs. Not sure that's how it's pronounced, but let's go with that for now. In the beautiful classic box. Let's take a look at the bottle, shall we? These are always so charming. I love their drawings. Always a lot of fun. Let's have a look. Oh yes, no different. Very, very charming, beautiful bottle. I love the drawings, the art. Very traditional, very comforting. I just love this brand because in my head, when I conjure the image of an ink bottle, this is really it right here. Just a solid bottle, very easy to fill your pens. Maybe when it gets down to the lower parts, you might want to use a syringe. You might want to tilt it, as I do, often tilting these things to get at the ink. But very beautiful bottle that has been around probably longer than I have. And that's a long time. So absolutely beautiful. Cannot wait to try this in a few moments. And look what else we have here. A beautiful special edition Jacques Herbin ink. Look at that. And now take a look at this. This is the Kenzo Takada ink. A beautiful portrait on there. Absolutely gorgeous. Part of the Jacques Herbin line. Let's have a look at this, shall we? Surgical incision there. Little ASMR. I probably didn't need to cut that. I see that it has a breakaway. But I've never been one for subtlety. There we go. Always exciting to see the bottles. What will this one look like? Looks like that beautiful, perfect whiskey bottle look. Wow. Look at that. We are going to have to try this out quickly. Ooh, I see it's got some shimmer. This might be a replacement or a contender for Caroux de Chypre. We shall see. Absolutely gorgeous. And of course, it comes with a little booklet as well, which tells us everything we need to know. Okay, before we try those inks out, we have one more box to open. This feels very light, surrounded in bubble wrap like it's protecting something very precious. What do you suppose this could be? It's a shame my daughter isn't here. She would love this bubble wrap. Oh wow, ladies and gentlemen. Oh wow, look at this. Where's the tip? But you see what this is? This is a wonderful pen for demonstrating inks because it puts all the focus on the ink. It's always fun to see how it is in other pens, but I think when you first get an ink, it's a lot of fun to try it with a dip pen. And there are few dip pens as great as, I can't get into it with my fingernails, as great as a glass dip pen. Just absolutely amazing. So I'm being very careful with my lack of fingernails. To work it down a little bit. There we go. Look at this, guys. Wow. Isn't that beautiful? I've seen many dip pens, including ones from Venice, where this type of dip pen was created. But this is gorgeous. This is so fun. I love the coloration. I love the feel. I cannot wait to give this a try. So we're going to try it on the new paper, and I think we'll also break out the ink library. Why not? Okay, so this is my ink library. I'm sure you are very familiar with this. And I use this as a resource to keep all my colors in. They're not necessarily in order since they are attached to the pages. But it is a really nice resource where I say a few words on how I like the color, and I tend to match pens up to it just to see how I feel. How I feel as if the pen is interacting with the different color, and whether or not it's a good color for that pen. So I think we're going to start with the Shogun Ink because it is so dramatic and so interesting. So absolutely beautiful, beautiful bottle. I have everything I need. I have my ink library here. I'll make sure I'm going to the next page in my Moleskine watercolor book, which is what this is. So I have a paintbrush for the ink. I have a shop towel for any accidents. And I have my gorgeous new Jacques Herbin glass dip pen. So we should get a very nice expression of this ink. Maybe we'll shake it up a bit more. It does have quite a bit of shimmer in there. Okay, we should give that a good shake. I always love that little breathy noise that new inks make when you uncap them. Certainly fun. Okay, so we'll dip our paintbrush in because I'd like to have a nice swatch of ink laid down first. Ooh, this is very dramatic. This is much darker than I was expecting, which, by the way, to me is a good thing. If there's one thing that sort of disqualifies an ink, to me, is if it's too light. I do enjoy darker inks. I like a lot of contrast on the page. And often when I'm journaling, it's in a book that has off-white color, ivory, that sort of thing. So if I don't have a lot of contrast and a bit of drama, it gets lost. So I quite like a darker shade. So I'm very pleased with that. It looks really nice. And now this is the first steps. First time I'm trying this dip pen. Not great with the dip pen. I have a hard time regulating the ink. I enjoy them, but I tend to make a lot of puddles. But wow, this one is almost like a fine nib. So this is really nice. Ooh, it feels nice. It has a bit of smoothness to it. It's not as scratchy as most dip pens. So I'm really enjoying this. Wow, very nice. Also, it's not burping ink or making puddles as many dip pens do. So this color is very nice. It's very dark, has a lot of saturation. Just feel like I could even use this for business, but I would certainly use it in journaling. I really am looking forward to seeing how it dries and develops. You can see it's got a bit of sheen that's picking up in the light. It's very dark, very contrasty. It's just a very nice color that I would feel very confident journaling with and using for many different applications, including correspondence and everything else. I would use this pen as well. It's a joy. The problem I've had with dip pens is that they tend to run off with a lot of the ink pooling. This one has enough grooves that it just seems to be very, very disciplined. And I enjoy that very much. So I think I'm going to use this. It gives me that certain old-fashioned, ancient writing feeling. So let's clean up a bit and try the next one. Okay, so now we are going to use this beautiful Bleu de Profondeurs, which I'm assuming means profound blue or very deep blue, which sounds perfect for me. I love deep, dark, rich colors, and I love blues, so I think we're going to be fast friends. And I think over time we'll have to ask ourselves, will this replace the Eclat de Saphir, which is my favorite ink of all inks, I think. And this is from the La Perle d'Acre line. All apologies to the French language. So once again, that gorgeous classic bottle that I just love so much. Look at that, so charming. So let's crack this open. We don't have to shake this one. We don't have any shimmer or shine in this one. It is a good, solid, reliable bleu. So let's have a look. We have our paintbrush ready to make our swatch. Dip it in and make a nice square as best we can under the scrutiny of 2 cameras today, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see. Okay, my square painting abilities are limited evidently, but not too bad. Wow, right off the bat, first impressions, very dark. Midnight blue, which I really like. It's a very romantic shade. It's very dramatically dark, which I like. And oh, on the other one, I forgot to do my little squiggle, which I like to do because it kind of shows how it trails out. But that's okay. We will keep moving on and not worry about that. So let's dip once again this gorgeous glass pen. Ooh, that's a nice ASMR now sound as well. So I'm going to need the box to write the name down. There's no shame in not being able to spell a language you do not speak. Now there will be if I misspell it with it right in front of me. But I think I did okay. Wow. I can tell you right now that this is an extraordinary color. So I can tell you I am already over the moon about this color. I love how dark it is. I think it'll be brilliant for the office. It'll be great for correspondence and so many things. Okay, let's try it now on this Rhodia Touch 55-pound paper. This beautiful bright white. And this pad that fastens at the top. Pretty much everything I love. So let's see how it does, shall we? Oh, I can tell you already that this is a much better experience than that watercolor was. The watercolor book. This is perfect. So beautiful. This is really nice. It is a fantastic shade, very dark. The paper is so smooth and yet such a beautiful writing experience. It's given me a beautiful expression of the ink and I'm just really enjoying it. So we definitely have a hit here. I'm looking forward to using this for the channel. It does give me a lot more real estate to play around with handwriting and everything else. I want to try the other color as well. Now we have this absolutely gorgeous Shogun Ink in this whiskey decanter sort of bottle, in this beautiful square crystal, if you will. Let's see what this looks like on this amazing Rhodia paper. Very nice. Very contrasty and dramatic. Very nice. Beautiful. This is really nice, dark, sort of vintagey looking color with a bit of shimmer to sort of give it a bit of magic pixie dust. So I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with this shade. I'll probably put this in something like an Eco with a stub nib to get a full expression of that color, that beautiful shimmer. It'd be very nice. And with the other one, the Bleu de Profondeurs may actually supplant the Eclat de Saphir in my hierarchy of inks. And I guess we'll end on that bombshell. So, what do you think of Jacques Herbin inks? Which ones are your favorites? Let me know in the comments. Also, thank you for watching. If you've gotten this far in the video, please subscribe. I'd love to have you along on this journey with us. Also, membership is available. Come on behind the scenes and see what we're doing back there. There's blooper reels. There's all sorts of fun interactive stuff going on. So won't you join us? I release new videos each Friday at noon, and I have a live show Tuesdays at 8 p.m. So I promise we will see each other again very soon, further up the road. So take care.